Hello all, my name is Karthik, and today I'm going to walk you through this implementation accreditation program as a part of the DocuSign certification. So in this CapStone project, I'm going to I'm going to I'm going to solve a solve a challenge, and this challenge is for a company called CEA and Close Enough Accounting CEA. So in this, we are going to streamline their process. The thing is, I will explain you about the scenario. So uh, the prospect or the lead, whoever whoever contacts CEA customer care, that particular customer care rep will take the information of the applicant and the co-applicant, and then this once they take the name and the email address of the applicant and the co-applicant, we are going to send them an envelope in which in that particular envelope we will be having three documents. One is the joint credit application, and the other one is the identification and asset statement for the applicant, and the third one, identification and asset statement for the co-applicant. So when we are going to send this document, we each template in the each document in the template should follow some guidelines. So coming to the joint credit application, in this joint credit application, both the applicants are required to complete and sign this document. And also applicant should not be allowed to see the SSN or annual income of the other applicant. And finally, the main applicant is required to provide a mailing address. For this, to achieve this scenario, we have selected a checkbox. And once this checkbox is selected, if the mailing address and the billing address are the same, when we select the checkbox, the mailing address should be copied into the billing address field. And coming to the next document, the next document is the identification and asset statement for the applicant. So in this document, the co-applicant should not be allowed to see this document. So the co-applicant should not be allowed to see the document of the applicant. And the SSN and annual income should be visible. And the applicant must select exactly two forms of identification that they will provide. Fields should be included to attach the identification documents. And coming to the next point, the applicant must specify at least one and up to 5 assets along with the value of each asset. The total value of the assets should be automatically totaled at the bottom of the table. For this, we are going to use a formula field. And in this formula field, we'll calculate the value. We'll calculate the sum of the values that are present in the value field. This document must be signed by the applicant and initialized by the CEA credit assessor. And coming to the final document, this document is for the co-applicant identification and asset statement. And in this, the applicant should not be allowed to see this document. The same requirements listed above will also be applicable for the co-applicant. And all the completed documents along with the certification, along with the certificate of completion should be stored in one cloud. So for this, in this scenario, I have chosen OneDrive. And in that particular repository, in the particular cloud called OneDrive, I have created a folder called DocuSign, in which all the completed envelopes will be saved in that particular folder. And next, let's go through the requirements quickly. So it says that whenever the recipient, the phone number should be entered in this particular format, 334. And whenever we choose another format than the one that is prescribed above, it should throw an error. And next, and we also have a requirement saying that the SSN and annual income must be visible to the CA credit assessor on information and asset statement documents. And next, coming to the next requirement, it says that applicants must select and attach exactly 2 forms of identification. So we will be dragging an attachment icon onto the document, and we will say whenever he checks one particular checkbox, then one attachment field should be highlighted. And there are three types of identification that are mentioned on the document. So what we are going to do is we are going to take 3 checkboxes for each of the identification method, and then we are going to place 3 attachment icons on the beside this checkboxes. So whenever he selects, if he selects all the 3, then and also there is a requirement saying that there should be only 2 forms of identification. So we should write a validation rule which says that he can select only 2 checkboxes. And coming to the next point, it says that the e-signature account and outbound emails should be branded with the CEA logo and colors. Okay, so for to achieve this, I have added a brand, and the one brand is we are using the CEA logo, and for the email logo also we have one more CEA logo which is already provided, and that will be uploaded for the emails. And recipient's name must be included in the email subject and body. So it says that whenever based on that particular recipient, we are going to put some placeholder values for this recipient first name, last name, and then we are going to include that particular recipient name in the email subject and body. And then the last requirement says that the completed documents cannot have any blank fields. So this will be also taken care of. And coming to the requirements, it says that includes the creation and use of a DocuSign template. So I'm going to walk you through later how we are going to do this. And it says that include all 4 recipients in appropriate routing order. So it says that the 4 recipients will be, one will be the applicant, and the other one will be the co-applicant, and the other one will be the CEA credit assessor, and CEA legal will also be there. So for our convenience, I have created 4 users. One is the CEA call rep, who will be taking the details of the applicant and the co-applicant. And then we have a CEA credit assessor, and the third one is the CEA legal. So it says that sorry, it says that there should be a particular routing order, and it says that the applicant, when we send this document to the applicant, to save time, the applicant and co-applicant will be getting the will be signing the document parallelly. So to achieve this scenario, we have used the signing order. So in this signing order, what I have done is, so for the applicant and the co-applicant, I have given 1. And for the CEA credit assessor, I have given number 2. And for the CEA legal, I have given him the number 3. So based on this signing order, this document will be traversing. Okay. And it says that I should utilize different authentication for the applicant and the co-applicant. So what I have done is, for the applicant, I have selected an access code. So this access code, this access code will be communicated to the applicant, and when this access code will be, and when the correct access code will be typed by the applicant, then only this template will be open. So for the co-applicant, I have taken the SMS authentication. So once when he enters his once he enters his mobile number, he will be getting an SMS. In that SMS, he will be he will be getting a code, and um, on entering the code, the authentication will be open. The authentication will be authorized. And next, coming to the next point, I will be demonstrating the use of document visibility and what are the different options available and how it is applied. And then I'm going to and then I'm going to populate our template with different types of fields, some standard fields and custom fields, and how we are going to achieve the business requirement. And so, and also it says that I should ensure that the completed documents should not include any blank fields. And then demonstrate how to store the completed documents and COC in the cloud storage. As said before, I'm going to use OneDrive for this for achieving this cloud storage. And coming to the next point, includes all of the use case components identified in the narrative and instructions, which we already discussed. And the core design DocuSign features, we will be just having a simple walkthrough through the options available. And and uh, and I should also discuss about the DocuSign agreement cloud phases, which are sign, prepare, act, and manage. So now let's go to our org. So this is my org, and this is my DocuSign e-signature org. And if you see, I am the admin for this DocuSign org. So now let me, as I told before, first let's go to the users. And I mean, and I just want to tell you about the navigation. So I'm in the e-signature tab. And when I'm in the e-signature tab, I will go to settings. And from the settings, on to your left hand side, you will be seeing users. So for our requirement, I have created 3 users. One is the CEA call center rep, and this person will be having this email ID. His status is active, and the permission profile that I have assigned is DS sender. And then I have created one more user, and this user is the CEA credit assessor. And this CEA credit assessor is represented by this email, and he will be having a profile of DS viewer. And the third one is the CEA legal. This is he is represented by this particular email, and he will be having the permission profile of DS viewer. Here, DS sender, DS viewer, DS admin, all these are standard permission profiles provided by the DocuSign. Okay, and after that, I have after creating this username users, I have created a group called everyone, and I populated all these people into this particular group. So I will be, so let me show you how I'm going to add a user. You will be finding a button here called add user. When I click on this add user, this should we are supposed to enter a unique email address which we have not used in this particular account. After entering and I'm just I'll enter some dummy details. Once this email is entered, then click on next. Then we will enter his name, address, title, and which company he's this particular user is representing, and all other details. After I enter all the required fields, and we will click on next, and then it will ask for an access code. This access code is only for the additional security. So, and this is an optional field. If you want additional security, you can enter this, or else we can leave it. So I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to click on next. And this is the permission profiles we talked earlier. So these are the standard permission profiles provided by the DocuSign: DS admin, sender, DS sender, DS viewer. And once I select some person and sorry, and click when we click on add user, our a new user is added. So when this user is added, his status will be pending. His status will be pending, and when this particular user logs gets into his mail ID, and when after opening this mail ID, he will be seeing um, a mail from DocuSign. When he opens that mail and clicks on activate, then his user will be active, and we will be seeing the list of users as active. Before he once we create this user, it will be pending, and when this particular user opens his mail and clicks on the activate button, then this the status will automatically change to active. So in this manner, I have created these 3 users. And once I have done the activation process, then I got the status as active. Okay, now let's have a look at how to create a groups. In settings, on your left hand side, you will be having groups. Once you click on these groups, you can click on add group, just enter the name, that's it. Once the group is created, you can assign some users into that particular group like this. So now we have created 3 users, and we have assigned them standard profiles, and we have put them in a particular group. Now let's go for some branding. So when we are in this setting tab, on your left hand side, in the account heading, you will be finding brands. Click on that brands, and when we are here in this brands, we have 2 tabs. One is the signing tab, and the other one is the sending tab. So in this signing tab, I'm going to add a brand like this. When I click on add brand, it asks me for a brand name, and I have selected the brand name as CEA. So this is how it looks like. So here I need to enter a name for this brand name. I have put it as CEA, and the company name, it's also the CEA. And then I will go to edit your theme. When I go to edit your theme, for the signing logo, I need to upload one logo. So for that, I have uploaded the CEA company logo, and it is asking for the email logo also. For this email logo, there is a separate thing given as a part of this requirement. I have uploaded that PNG file over here. And once these 2 things are uploaded, we have other features also to change the header background, header text, button background, button text. We can select whatever color we require. And here we will be having a power form. So in this power form, you can customize according to your needs. And let's go for the email. And in the email, this is how the particular the other person will be receiving our template. So when he clicks on the review document, he will be seeing if all the information is correct, and that is the streamlined process that we are going to. The email that he is going to receive will be in this format. If needed, we can change however needed. Next, and here we have destination URLs. So in this destination URLs, there is a column called signing completed. This signing completed is whenever we send a template to him, once this he signs it, this after he signs it, that particular window will be navigating him to the DocuSign default, or we can specify some URL to him. So in our as there is nothing specified, I have just put DocuSign default. Similarly, we can have in the event, we have different events. One is the viewed exit, one is the finish letter, decline, session timeout, authentication failure. For each of this, in case of each of this event, we can just put one URL if required. So in our scenario, I just for all the events, I have just put DocuSign default. Then we can modify, we can just put some links in the header and footer, however we like, however we can customize them. And then we can select some brand languages and some resource files. So I will again, I will just cancel this. And now in the brands, I'm going for this sending tab. In this sending tab, I am going to click on edit your theme. And here I am also going to use the company in the sending logo. I'm going to put the CEA logo, and in the email, I'm going to put the CEA email logo. And as seen before, whatever colors we need, we can just for the banner, we can change the banner, and for the action buttons, we can put some yellow. Yellow is the default color, and if needed, we can change those colors, the primary buttons and all that stuff. And this is the manage page. We can also change the color coding of this manage page, and for the email thing also. In this manner, we are going to design the logos and how it should look when it is sent as an email and all that stuff. Now coming to the next part, I am in this settings, and on the left hand side, I am going to sending settings. I click on sending settings, and here these sending settings. So as the name suggests, whenever we are about to send a template, and what are the settings that we require, and all those can be configured over here. So by default, some are selected and some are not selected, but based on our requirement, we have done this following changes. So if you remember, we should calculate the total value of we should calculate the sum of all the values that are present. So that's why I have enabled the formula field, and then I enable some conditional fields, because based on this conditional fields, we are going to do some streamline the process. And now it says that I have I need an attachment icon. So for that, I have enabled the signer attachment field, and for each attachment icon, I should be able to upload one document. So as such, I have deselected this allow signers to add multiple attachments for field, and this document, this particular option, what it says is it append attachments to the document with the attachment field. So we will be having some attachment fields. So it says that whenever we upload a particular attachment, should it be visible beside that field, or if we want that attachment to be visible beside that field, then we need to select this. If we don't need that option, we can just deselect it. So all the attachments that we have uploaded will be visible at the end of the document. In our scenario, after the joint credit application, and and for the applicant and co-applicant, we have different documents. And after all these three documents, all the attachments will, whatever attachments we have uploaded, will be visible over there. Now, and coming to the document visibility. This document visibility says that based on our requirement, what I have done is this document will be visible. This person must sign to view unless a member of sender's account. And then we have the document visibility off. We can switch off the document visibility, and we can select must sign to view unless sender. Sender can set must sign to view unless a member of sending account. Sender can set must sign to view unless sender. So I have to achieve our requirement, I have selected must sign to view unless a member of sender's account. And then based on the data label, sorry, and it says that whenever we drag and drop some fields onto the document, there will be an option called data label. So for this data label, so if I select, let's say I have a phone field. That phone field, for it may be repeated 3 to 4 times. And whenever that is repeated, when we enter values in one particular field, that the particular value should be populated in the other fields with the same data label name. So for that, I have selected, I just want to automatically replicate information in fields with the same data label. And I selected this should be applicable for all the documents in an envelope. And then I have selected allow sender to download form data. And there is another option called custom email and language for each recipient. And I just want to enable it. So I have selected it. And this. And coming to the recipient's role. So this the person who is receiving this template, I want him to have all the options. So I have selected all these options. He can sign in front of the witness, and he can have bulk recipients, and he can enable needs to view role. He can specify recipients, allow to edit recipient, update recipients, and in-person signing. And coming to the next thing, we have document sources. This document sources, there are 4 things. The cloud storage. So the first cloud storage is Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive. So for safety purpose, I have selected all the 4 things. And if you remember, I'm going to use this OneDrive over here. Okay. And next, let's move on to the signing settings. I am in this settings tab, and on the left-hand side, I'll be going to the signing settings, and in this signing settings, auto navigation. In this auto navigation, there should not be any blank fields. So what I have done is I asked it to navigate. Auto navigation is like whenever you press the tab key on your keyboard, so it will take from one field to the other field. So I told it should navigate to the blank required fields. Some fields are required, and when I press this tab button, it should navigate to all the required fields. And let's say if the recipient is using his mobile for signing, or whenever he's on the move or something like that, I have given him the accessibility so that uh, uh, the screen, the document will be more visible friendly in on his mobile. So as such, I have selected this particular option, and then the recipients can just sign on a paper, and he can sign on a mobile device, and he can change the signing responsibility, and he can override change signing responsibilities, and he should be able to create a DocuSign account, and I can give him offline signing in scenarios where he's far from internet, and I can also he can sign documents offline on a mobile device. And coming to the next point, we have document formatting. In this document formatting, I am going to give him some date format based on the country that he's available. Different countries follow different formats. So, and also I have given this particular, I have just left it as a default. So this is the current date format, and time format also can be specified over here. And then signature. We will come to the signature later. So it says that in this signature, does he want to have a frame, or does he? We can just put if he doesn't want any frame outside his signature. Sorry. And then we have envelope delivery, and we can attach documents to the completion email, attach certificate of completion to the envelope. Certificate of completion is like, uh, uh, let's say who is the signer, when did he sign, at what time did he sign, and all that information is gathered in this certificate of completion, and this particular certificate of completion will be saved in the OneDrive. So he can suppress emails to the embedded senders, and he can allow account users to decide if they should send a link or attach a PDF. So I have selected link. Now let's move on to the next option, and the next option is connect. We have decided that we are going for the OneDrive. So settings, and then we will be going to connect. If you see, I have already configured CEA OneDrive. So you click on add configuration and select which one do you want. And if you are not comfortable with all four of this, you can select your own configuration. You can click on custom option, and you can select whichever cloud storage you are comfortable with. So for us, I have selected OneDrive. So, and once you click on add configuration, then this is an active connection, and you can give some name to this particular connection. And as a best practice, it is always advisable to select this enable log and require acknowledgement. Enable log ensures that it gives more security enhancements, so that we can know who has done any changes or not, or anything like that. Then we were talking about the certificate of completion, right? So I have selected this certificate of completion and envelope voided reason. And here, now let's say, sorry, let's say I have selected OneDrive. I have selected OneDrive. In OneDrive, just click on browse, and here you can select which folder you want all the envelopes to be dumped into. So in OneDrive, I have created a folder called DocuSign, and I want all the envelopes and all the certificate of completion of the envelope dumped into this DocuSign. So this folder name will be visible over here. And then associated users. Who is supposed to use this drive? So all the users in all the users in my company will be able to dump their data into this particular folder. Or if you want, you can select whichever user will have access to this particular OneDrive DocuSign folder. And once all this is done, just save configuration. So now we are going to create a template, and so I'll just go to the templates tab, and there we will find a button called new. And in this new, we have three options. We can create a template, or we can upload a template, or we can create a power form. So in our scenario, now I'm going to create a new template. I'm going to click on new template, and then I'm going to write a name and some description. And after I filled the above two text fields, I will go to this add document section. And in this add document section, I'm going to upload so these are the documents that were given as a part of this project, and I will select them. I'm selecting them. But I want this particular template to be in the on the top, and then the applicant one way in the middle, and the co-applicant will be on the last thing. And once these documents are uploaded, I'm going to add recipients like this. So the thing is, I'll just set some signing order, and I will enter the role as applicant, and I will be leaving the name and email as blank, because according to the requirement, the CEA credit rep will be getting the prospects details, and he will be entering the name and email as required. And then I'm going to add a recipient, and this role will be a co-applicant, and this one also I'm going to leave the name and email as blank. Now, the requirement says that we need to have two different authentication methods for the applicant and the co-applicant. So I go to customize, and I will add an identity verification, and then I will just put SMS over here, and then I will enter some mobile number. And for this co-applicant, I will just put another authentication method called the add access code, and I will specify some random access code. So after, but the another one more issue is this applicant and this co-applicant should receive the document at the same time, so that it will save the signing time. So I have set the signing order, and then I have put the number as 1 and 1. After all this, again, I'm going to click on add recipient, and this time I'm going to put the CEA credit tester, CA create tester. I'll go to the directory and I'm just selecting the CA create tester. Again, I'm going to click on add recipient. This one will be the legal one. I entered CA legal and CA legal. So now I'm done. I have given two different authentication methods for the applicant and the co-applicant. And once these two people are done signing with the documents, then it will go to the CA create tester, and from there it will go to the CA legal. Now let's have a look at some signing methods. These are all the signing methods. This is needs to sign, in-person signer, receives a copy, needs to view, specify recipients, allowed to edit, update recipients, signs with notary, signs with witness. So we have different type, all these are the different signing methods, and we can select whatever we need based on the requirement. And then, yes. Now, according to the requirement, we don't want the sender to edit recipient or delete the recipient. So for the CA create tester, I'm going, I have clicked on customize and then advanced settings, and I'm going to select this too. Same is the case with CA legal also. I'll go to advanced settings and I'm going to select this two options. Once all this is done, I'm going to click on next. Sorry, before I click next, I forgot to mention about this. So here we have to specify, like I mean, we need to send individual subject and message to each recipient, or for all recipients, if we want to say send the same thing, we can do this over here. This is already done by me, so I'll just drive you through the done one. So I'll just select this checkbox and let me go back. I'm not going to save this. So this is the one that I have done. Now I'll click on edit. This is the same one as before. If you observe, I have put in a recipient access code and SMS, and I have selected the advanced settings. And now coming to the message to all recipients, I'll just select the language as English, and I will put I just want as per the requirement, the email subject and email message should be specific for that particular applicant and co-applicant. So so here we will be having some values over here, like the insert applicant's name, applicant's email address, co-applicant's name, co-applicant's email address, whatever recipients we have selected, all their details will be coming like this, and we can select which one we want, and we can put it over in the recipient. So based on the applicant username, so this one, the email subject will be changing for each and every applicant and co-applicant. So once this email subject is done, then I will just I want to configure an email message saying that with the recipient name. So let's say if the recipient name is some XYZ, I'll just say, hi XYZ, please complete the document and sign. And in the signing order, if you remember, we selected the applicant, co-applicant, and the CA create tester and the CA legal. So for all these four people, I as I have selected this checkbox, I will be getting all the 4 options, and I have populated their email subject and email message specific to that particular user or particular recipient. Okay. Now, once all this is done, I will click on next. And as we have uploaded the joint credit application and the identification and asset statement for the applicant and the identification and asset statement for the co-applicant. So all these 3 documents are coming now, and let's start with the joint credit application. So if you observe here, we have 4 things: applicant, co-applicant, CA credit assessor, and CA legal. All these 4 are represented by different colors. Okay, now let's see how we are going to populate this. Name, I just this one is a standard, and before we go into this, I just want to explain, like there are 2 things. One is the standard field and the other one is the custom field. Standard fields are the one that are given by DocuSign by default, as, and custom fields are the one which we are going to create according to our needs. So in standard fields, I'm going to just drag this name field and I'm going to put it over here. I just drag this and I'm going to put it like this. So I have dragged this name field and I have put it over in the applicant name, and according to the requirement, whatever details I enter for the applicant name, this one should be auto populated in the other applicant names. So to achieve this scenario, we have an option called data label. If you see, this full name is applicant. I renamed it as applicant name. Okay. In a similar manner, phone, I made it applicant phone number, email, applicant email, and then mailing address, billing address, all this stuff. So for the mailing address, I just dragged one text box and I have put it over here. And so it is saying that I have all I already I dragged a checkbox and I put it over here, and I have created a conditional logic. My conditional logic says that if this one is unchecked, this one if this is checked, so if this one is unchecked, this one will not be displayed, the bottom one. And then I have created some SSNs, social security number, and in this I have put a validation saying that it's a social security number. And as per our requirement, I made this social security number as a required field. And similarly, the annual income, this is a required field, and I have just made the data label as applicant annual income. Now, and the annual income, annual income will have only numbers. So I just said in the validation, I just mentioned it, validated this field to be consisting of only numbers, and then the applicant signature and the date signed. Now, if you observe this section, it says co-applicant. This co-applicant I made it in the similar manner as we have done before. I just drag the name, phone, email, SSN, annual income, sign, and date sign. So this phone is co-applicant phone number. As the data label for this phone and the data label for this phone, as both are same, once we enter the co-applicant's phone number on the top, automatically this phone field will also be auto populated with the value that we entered in the previous document. That is the biggest use of data label. So similarly, full name, phone, email, SSN, and annual income. Now, so in similar way, I have entered all the fields, and then it says the CA signature. So I have taken the CA create as sir, and I just I asked them. This is the CA sign and the date sign. Then coming to the next document, which is identification and asset statement. In this, I want the same values as before to be populated over here. So I have the same name, applicant name, the data label as it is the same as before, phone, email, annual income, and SSN. Now, this says that whenever the user selects driver, whenever the recipient selects the driver's license, whenever this checkbox is selected, this attachment field should be highlighted. When he selects the passport checkbox, the second one should be selected, and when the third one is selected, this third box should be selected. So what I have done is I have taken a checkbox group, and if you observe, I have written a condition logic saying that if the user selects this driver license, this should be visible. If he selects this passport, if he selects the passport, then the second one will be visible. And if he selects the third one, the third attachment icon will be activated. Okay. And also there is one more validation rule which should be implemented. And it says that uh, exactly we need two identifications. So what I have done is in the validation, I just select at least two, minimum of two, or I can just put select exactly two. Okay. And now coming to the next part, this says asset description. Now in this table, whenever a person enters whenever the user enters the details, asset description, automatically this text field should be visible. So what I have done is this asset description, the first text field, I made it as a required field. I made it a required field. And then this value field also, I made it as a required field. Then what I have done is once the person, I'll just show you. Let me edit this. The logic is whenever any value is entered into this asset description, this text field would be highlighted. And once the value is entered, it will come to this next point, and this is an optional field. That's why there is no color, there is nothing coming out. So after all this is done, after configuring all this, I dragged a formula field in the total. And if you observe, all these value fields are, I have put the data label as asset value 1, asset value 2, asset value 3, asset value 4, asset value 5. So in this formula field, I have set up a formula, and this formula will calculate the sum of all the values that are present in this 5 things. Okay, this is the formula that was created. So here we will be getting the values of all the fields that are present over here, and based on our requirement, I have selected asset value 5, and you can select the operator, arithmetic operator, whichever you need, and then you can create a formula like this. Yeah. After this, I just populated the sign and date sign of the applicant, and then it says that it needs the CEA initials, and I just drag this initial and I have put it over here. Same is the case with the co-applicant. In the co-applicant also, I just put full name and all this, and what we have done before, the same methodology, I used it over here, and I created these 3 checkboxes and their corresponding attachment fields, and then some text fields to populate the asset description table, and one formula to calculate the sum of all this, and then the co-applicant signature and the date sign and the CEA initials. So now I'm going to save and close. Oh, oh, okay. Forgot to show you the document visibility. I'll just open it again. Then I click on next. Yeah. So here, when I click on this gear icon, I can see this document visibility. When I click on this document visibility, we are going to see what is the visibility of this document for each of these persons, users. So for in case of the joint credit application, all the people can, this is visible for all these 4, and the identification and asset statement, this is visible for the applicant and for credit assessor and legal, but it's not visible for co-applicant. So as per the requirement, this is done. And for the identification and asset statement for the co-applicant, as this belongs to the co-applicant, applicant cannot view the co-applicant one. And but this would be visible for the CA credit assessor and CA legal. And then let me save and close. Now once our template is ready, and then we will just use, and now we can share with users. Now here we can, if needed, we can edit it, and we can move this, or we can share with other folders. We can copy this, we can create a power form, we can include this in matching or exclude from matching, we can delete it, we can download it, and we can just transfer the ownerships. But for now, I'm going to share with users. In this, when I select this share with users, I will be seeing all the users that are present in my org. Now, if I want to say share it with some groups, I can do that. So I'll go to the users, and this template has to be uh, the major chunk of this template work will be done by the CA call center rep, because he is the person who will be taking the details of the prospect or lead he is talking to. So I'm sharing this CA joint credit application with the call center, the CA call center rep. Now let's log into the CA call center rep and see how uh, if this template is shared with him or not. Before we proceed ahead, I forgot to mention about the validation rule that we were using. So it says that the phone number should be in a particular format. So it should be first three digits and next it another three digits and followed by a hyphen, and then it should have the last four digits. So for this regex pattern, I have used this, and I said the first the first three digits will be it will be of numbers, and then hyphen, again the next three numbers, hyphen, and the next four numbers. So, and also I have put an error message saying that a phone number should be in this particular format. So let's log in like the CA credit call center rep and see if our template is shared or not.